We're all still winding down from the events of Avengers Endgame, and the pain we all suffered, once again, at the hands of the Mad Titan. But alas, we all must move on, and what better way to do that than look ahead towards the future of the MCU, and what Phase 4 may hold for us. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, yep, surprise surprise, we're going to be counting down the top 5 scary Avengers theories that might be true. Before we begin, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at 5, Avengers vs X-Men. A rumor coming from We Got This Covered speculates that an Avengers vs X-Men is definitely on the cards over at Marvel. Now the comment is vague and we can only take it with a grain of salt because we know how quickly things can change in the MCU. But considering the X-Men will be in the MCU, it's likely that this could come to fruition. Now it is unlikely that we would be seeing a versus film right off the bat, considering that Marvel is looking to introduce the X-Men while rebooting a handful of characters we already know and love. So it wouldn't hold much emotional weight if they dove in headfirst with that storyline. So we can expect to see something similar a little further down the line. In at 4, Scarlet Witch has been evil the whole time. Now this theory comes to us from Reddit. It's a long one, but stick with me. I quote, "I believe Scarlet Witch is actually evil in the Marvel movies, and she is still secretly trying to destroy the Avengers from inside. The evidence? Well, they go on to say, we meet her in Avengers 2. She was proven to be a very powerful foe for the Avengers because she was able to give the members scary visions of what they were most afraid of. She showed Iron Man that the Avengers will die soon if he doesn't do anything about it, which was a terrible idea because it made him build Ultron. But he forgave her because she was brainwashed by Hydra and Ultron. But did she actually turn good? That's the question. Now the Redditors' theory moves into Iron Man 3, as they state, there we saw Tony was suffering from PTSD, because all his life he was a playboy and a nerd, he was never much of a warrior like Captain America or Scarlet Witch. But his life had just changed in his 40s. He was living in a constant fear of secret spies, aliens, etc. When Scarlet Witch gives him the fear of losing his friends and family, it made him unstable. He wasn't thinking straight and built a powerful AI which would be able to make its own decisions and not listen to Tony. Throughout Avengers 2 and Civil War, Tony was being blamed for everything. Scarlet Witch never stood up and admitted that he made Ultron because of her. Did she do that on purpose? Perhaps she's still working with Hydra in an attempt to get revenge for her family. We'll see. I'll be really sad if that's true. Coming in at 3, the House of M. This leads directly on from our previous number, with folks theorizing that we will see House of M in the upcoming Phase 4. So what exactly is House of M? Essentially, after inadvertently wiping out some of her fellow heroes from existence, Scarlet Witch uses her powers to shape a world in which Magneto and his family are now rulers, and humans are the minority. However, when other members of the Avengers wake up, they are forced to confront Scarlet Witch. But with 3 simple words, she changes reality as we know it. No more mutants. Yep. Chills. Now we know there are no mutants in the MCU as of yet, but they are coming, and we know that. And more than that, Scarlet Witch seems poised for a House of M level moment. Will we get it? We shall see. In at 2, Mephisto is coming. Now this theory goes that Thanos was just a pawn in the MCU and was instead working for a much more dangerous puppet master. Perhaps it could be Mephisto. Reddit user CarneyLVR79 posted a theory on r/Marvel Studios that mentioned the Red Skull is in the process of becoming Mephisto and an amalgamation of villains from Marvel Comics lore. He begins the theory by comparing the events of the MCU to a game of chess, with the black team being played by Mephisto and the white team being played by the Infinity Stones. They go on to say that not only does Mephisto serve as a soul-collecting demon, but the character also has a supporting role in the Infinity Gauntlet series. Now, though there isn't any concrete evidence to support the claims that Mephisto is already present within the MCU, there are some people who have hinted to a small Easter egg that occurred in the first Avengers. As Nick Fury is working on assembling the team, he hands Cap an envelope with info about the Tesseract. At the bottom of the report, there's a paragraph that reads, I quote, how they want to be used and deny certain wishes. Mephisto was who proposed that a billion sentient universally linked will could overcome this problem, and that the cubes could be as powerful as the Infinity Stones. Now this could just be a cute nod to the comics, but perhaps it's confirming that Mephisto has been present all along. What do you guys think? And finally, coming in at number 1, Galactus. There are a ton of theories floating around online about who the next villain will be in Phase 4 of the MCU, with folks theorizing that it may be the villain to set up the grand finale of the MCU. Galactus. Now the crux of the theory is short but sweet, essentially implying that the damage that was caused to reality, what with Thanos snapping his fingers and wiping out half of the universe and then the Avengers undoing the snap, it could potentially release Galactus from his prison inside the quantum realm, which of course played a huge role in Avengers Endgame. Perhaps the events of the last film will cause him to be released and inflict chaos throughout Phase 4. We shall see. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with that list? Are there any scary Avengers theories that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Before we go, I just want to highlight some comments that caught my attention on a recent poll that we ran. Happy? Who would win in a fight? Jack with every weapon imaginable? Or me? Fen Wolf said, Lucy is every weapon imaginable. That I am. You are correct. Brent Bishop said, sorry Jack, Lucy eats souls. You snack on them occasionally. Austin Heath said, Lucy, without question, a being more destructive has never come into existence. Bow down to me. Michael Cooley said, is that a real question? Seriously, Top 5 Scary is the only channel I have notifications on for, and I came running just to find it's this. Of course Lucy wins. No matter what advantage Jack has, it's Lucy hands down. Nothing but love for you, Jack. You just don't have that killer mentality. Lucy, on the other hand, there are incredible wells of wrath swirling behind those blue eyes. Be careful, Jack. I'll leave you with well wishes in the words of the late George Carlin. May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house. I never get confused. FX Rodriguez said, Jack just has to climb a tree. I've watched Lucy try to climb. He'll be safe. That one was cutting, I felt that. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.